One of the hallmarks of tertiary education is one's ability to critically examine things despite all the fluffs. And having gotten to the highest point of tertiary education in the world, I am able to examine issues and come up with some conclusion as to what is, as well as decipher through varying documents and arguments, dialogues, monologues, and see the truth or approximate of the truth compared to when I was at the secondary or primary level. One of the things I've been observing over the past few months is Donald Trump's actions and behavior. And it seems somewhat erratic and emotional. But when I began looking extensively at what is actually unfolding, I'm asking myself the question, is President Trump taking back the power from the elites? When you look at the American system, it is clear that the American system, even though people are, by definition, told, indoctrinated that they are free, that it substantially is a police state. I'm not sure a lot of persons have recognized that, but it's clear to me that it's a police state. What I'm also realizing from America is that someone is running America, which is not the Americans. And I'm asking myself the question, is Donald Trump aware of this? And a number of his policies and programs are geared towards taking back the power from those persons who are running the place. And I'm forwarding that a part of the body or group of persons running America and the world, including Jamaica, is the Rothschild family. And if these individuals are running the place, it means that the average person in the world is brainwashed to thinking that they have the power and they can do some things and get away with it, or they are free. But it's clear that you're only living to suit a system. Possibly you do not see that, but I'm putting that forward to you to look into it and realize that, listen, you're not really running a system. You're not even running your very household. Things are structured by, if you don't pay your electricity bill, look what happened to you. If you don't pay your water bill, look what happened to you. If you don't pay your taxes, look what happened to you. I'm saying look at the structure, and then you'll realize that you're really caught in a maze. No, the American system is such that the treasury spend on behalf of the government. All right. No, the treasury, and I have done accounts at A levels and a diploma in accounts. So I understand fully well accounting transaction, both from costing perspective and from financial perspective, that a critical part of the accounting system is you start first from receipts, invoices, before you actually do payments. If that is the case, which is a basic principle of accounting, and I've taught it for many years to students, taught accounting for over 12 years at the secondary level, high school level. And I'm saying, if that is not so and money is spent, one of two things will actually happen. One, you're either fired, or two, brought to jail because of one, embezzlement, two, or fraud. But it would not be as simple as a tap on the wrist. And I want to listen carefully as to what is happening in America with millions of dollars being spent by the treasury, and there's no accountability. And who are these individuals getting these millions of dollars? The very elites. So is Donald Trump cleaning the system up where this is not going to happen? And as a result of that, it could explain why CNN and other stations and other groups and bodies is trying to broad brush the president as idiotic, irrational, emotional, and unlike a president because he's cleaning up the mess that is going on, having recognized that things are actually inefficiently run, corruptly done, and fraudulently instituted. Is he trying to clean up that sort of thing, and the persons do not seem to understand it. I want to play a clip for you that you can, and I intermittently will actually stop the clip and give you some of the comments, because I want you to understand clearly, is Donald Trump taking back the power from the elites? And I want you to understand clearly that how can you spend millions of dollars without giving an account for it and nobody goes to jail? And that accounting is seen as normal. But who's getting the money? And what are they getting the money for? And what are they doing with the cash? Let's listen to this.
Payment system. He can now see every payment under the purview of the Bureau of Fiscal Services, a unit in the Treasury Department that processes nearly all $6 trillion that the federal government spends every year. This isn't just department budgets or large government contracts. It also includes Social Security payments, government salaries, basically anything the government spends money on. Now, Elon Musk obviously isn't supposed to have access to this incredibly sensitive information. The unit falls under the authority of the Treasury Department and the Department of Government Efficiency, the name of the White House advisory team that Elon Musk is a part of, isn't even a real executive agency. This, however, didn't stop Elon and the Doge team from pressuring the Treasury official who was in charge of the Bureau to give them access. This official, David LeBrink, was strong-armed, put on leave, and then resigned shortly after. Once he was gone, the new Treasury Secretary, hedge fund billionaire and George Soros protege Scott Bessent, made Elon and his team Treasury employees and gave them security clearances. Another Silicon Valley executive, Tom Krause, the CEO of Cloud Software Group, was also reportedly involved in pressuring the former Treasury official to give Doge access, meaning there could be several more rich Silicon Valley executives trying to get their hands on, or who already have gotten their hands on, this trove of sensitive data. By the way, all we know about the Doge team so far is that they've hired a handful of 19 to 26-year-olds, many of whom are still in college. In other words, you now have a group of college students, tech executives, and the world's richest person who were never elected, never had any experience in government, aren't even part of a real government body, with full access to some of the most sensitive information in the country. Congress can't intervene because Doge staff aren't public officials, so they're not accountable to a government body. And it's already being reported that one Doge employee is rewriting the code for the Treasury's payment system, which contradicts earlier reports that Doge's access was read-only. Elon Musk has also stuffed the Government Services Administration and Office of Personnel Management, two of the most crucial bodies for the day-to-day operation of the government, with loyalist employees from his own companies. It's hard to say exactly what Elon plans to do because the bureau he controls now encompasses the entire federal government, but he tweets every hour about dismantling the federal government, so there's that. But the point here is this latest move gives the Trump administration another way to illegally halt government programs and spending they don't like, which the administration already tried but was thwarted by the courts. Now the Trump administration has loyalists in charge of the bureau that issues the payments for all of these agencies. We're going to keep following this story as it develops, but this should shatter any illusion that Elon Musk and this billionaire-run administration is in any way some sort of populist government that's going to put the power back in the hands of the people. It's literally the opposite. It's a coup by the world's richest man and a dozen other hedge fund billionaires who want to tear out every part of the government they don't like and make the rest.
I want to deal with an issue here that the presenter mentioned. He mentioned that a number of college graduates are getting their hands on things and that Elon Musk is not a government official and that he's possibly not trained inside the issue. But what a number of persons are not thinking about and looking carefully at is that Elon Musk is deciphering a number of the spending patterns that are actually going on in the Treasury. Not because he's a government official, but because he understands the whole idea and concept of efficiency. If you're going to be efficient, you need to understand clearly the cost of things, how things are done, when things are done. All of that has to be addressed. And he's looking at that not through the lens of those persons who are in it, because if he's used persons who are in it, he'll never decipher what is actually going on. So the presenter here is making it seem like Elon Musk team is incompetent. They're not incompetent, and Elon Musk has to do that. In what sense? If you intend to look at a system, you can't use persons in the system to look at the system. You have to use external individuals, which is a part of the whole idea and concept of checks and balances. So you're in the system and you have actually done something. It has to be verified by somebody outside. So a number of companies that are public entity must actually use external auditors to vet and verify whatever happens internally. Yes, you may have an internal audit department, but of course that internal audit department can be corrupted. The external auditing department is somewhat unbiased and therefore look at things objectively, which is exactly what Elon Musk is doing. And what he's unearthing spending of even $20 million to some person that there's no receipt for. And this has been going on for years through the bureaucratic system. And no one is actually looking at this and giving an account for this. Elon must recognize that to stop waste, increase efficiency, you must begin with examining the books, which is exactly what he's doing, and getting his hands on the number of these documents and understanding the system that is going on to actually stop the waste. And that is the best way to deal with it. Now, a number of persons may not necessarily recognize what is really transpiring, and what number of persons have been, including this presenter, is telling you the concept that Elon Musk people are inexperienced. They are the persons who are uncovering what is actually happening. These are skilled individuals. And to say Elon Musk is using persons from his company to do things, rightfully so, because he trusts them. And the fact that he trusts them, he's actually able to say to them objectively, I want to honor the truth. And they will go and try to honor the truth because they're not loyal to the internal individuals at the Treasury to say, okay, then accept their biased position or accept any fraudulent transaction or accept any inefficiency. They are looking objectively from the perspective of the person who sent them. Go and honor the truth. And that, Lord, what I want to say to persons that when Elon Musk is actually looking through these files, looking through these books, looking at these agencies, and he's recognizing inefficiencies, what is clear is that a number of these payments, a number of these inefficiencies can't be traced to no one except the individual who gets the money. And people who get money can always justify why they have gotten it. Is that understood? You can always justify when you have gotten money, even if the money was given to you by false pretense. No, we understand clearly is that the Rothschild family is actually running this world, and America seems to have actually laid down arms and have allowed them to do what they want to do. Clearly, Trump recognized this and is trying to stop this inefficiency, stop this waste, stop this maneuvering, stop this draconian approach to things, and return the power to the people. The presenter would actually give you the impression, and actually also stated that it is far from the truth that the Trump administration is trying to give back the power to the people. Currently, the power of the world is in the hands of the very elites. Clearly, Trump is not a part of this group, even though he is an elite. And what he's doing is actually making the elites uncomfortable because he has recognized and know fully well that they have been masking themselves as helpers of the people when they're actually the people's worst enemy. So he's unmasking all of that, and they are being exposed. And because they are exposed, they are worried what else Trump has to do. And I'm forecasting and looking ahead that maybe what they are going to try to plan to do with Trump is to assassinate him, to mask and continue to cover their mess. What do you have to say? Like, share, and subscribe to this video as I continue to provide you trusted information for you to use to make a decision. Do not be fooled by the game that is playing.